All right. Boy, the music's got to start again. And I just got the countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the GG Factor tonight. How's everyone doing out there? Thank you for showing up. Absolutely appreciate you. Oh, yeah. I have to have a little music to start my show. I'm a musician. Well, tonight I'm doing a solo tonight, and I feel good about that because there's so much going on that I just want to talk about tonight. So welcome once again to GG Factor, where we inspire you, where we empower you, where we educate you, and we inform you about what's going on around you tonight and what's trending around the world today that has that impact. Yeah. Oh, man, they're talking about the federal government. They're talking about my man Trump. Boy, they're talking about a lot of things in Chicago. They're talking about the employment of the military in our urban areas, man. It's a big, big deal. So tonight we're going to discuss all those things. I want to put it out there and give you the GG perspective tonight. That's right. Hey, the bottom line of all of this is really simple. Everybody's got their perspective. Everybody's got their paradigm. Tonight, I want to give you my mindset so that hopefully help you develop the mindset of a winner, because you won't let whatever's going on out there take over what comes in here. That's the job tonight. Inform you, inspire you so that you can sit back, relax, and understand that you've been a little bit better informed on the GG Factor tonight. With that said, I'm going to stop the music, and that makes it official. But I want to say once again, thank you guys so much for being with me. We had a young man had a very much an emergency in his family tonight. I want to send my shout out to him. He knows who I'm talking about. But we're going to just say that the show goes on. And I love having the ability to just come right in and give you my perspective. Now, honestly speaking, there's so much going on, but I've just decided to find, should I say, what's trending right now and what's the impact on all of us. How do we deal with it? How do we respond to it? How do we understand it? How do we quantify it? Because, as a teacher for 31 years, and I retired about 2 years ago, I would always talk to my kids and tell them, either you can quantify or it's a lie and it's very subjective. And tonight, Griffith will not be subjective. I'm going to give you the data that I know matters. And at the same time I say that to you, it's up to you to decide how you take this and utilize this. Now, one of the top trending things in all of politics right now is, there's two things that are trending, because I got a whole bunch of little sheets here, and I'm looking through them saying, which one do I even want to start with? I got so much stuff going on right here. Well, first off, on a little lighter note, did you know that 20 years ago, Hurricane Katrina capped into New Orleans? 20 years ago. And, that was serious. I'm just going to stop and say to you right now, there has never, ever been anything like that in USA history like Katrina. And 20 years ago, we wondered, with the Superdome open again. And boy, I think they're going to have the Super Bowl there this year, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that. I'm not absolutely sure or not. But one thing I understand this is that it costs $170 billion to the United States economy to deal with the aftermath of Hurricane, Katrina. Can you imagine that? That's almost a $250 billion. That's staggering. So I grabbed that one today. I thought it was grab and take a look at it and tell you what's going on about that. 20 years ago. Now, let's fast forward to Hurricane Andrew, which was 40 years ago. Well, actually, what was it? Let me see, 92, let me see, 202, 212, 222. I don't think it was quite that far, but let me see, 92. Well, Maru, I think it was about 40 years ago that they had the hurricane come through that was just monstrous right here where I'm sitting right now in my hometown of Pembroke Pines, Florida. Boy, I remember waking up the morning after Hurricane Andrew, which was 40 years ago, and I got up and I said to myself, wow. Actually, it wasn't 40, because, I know it wasn't, but about 30, 31 years ago, it's the same year that I started working as a teacher. So I don't have that number written down, but it was actually in 1992, I started my teaching career. And in 1992, we had Hurricane Andrew, and it flattened a city south of us called Homestead, Florida. And it's been actually about 33 years ago. It was 1992 to be more specific. So on a lighter note, before I even address what's going on with Trump, what's going on with politics, what's going on with Chicago, Washington, D.C., what's going on with the Fed governor, they're trying to get the lady out of the office, Ms. Lisa Cook. It's just so much going on that impacts all of us, because I heard something about that whole situation that's a little bit of an obscurity. But before I even segue back to what's going on with government, understand this. We all deal with the ramifications of a hurricane. And right now, they told me the Federal Emergency Management Action that they take, FEMA. If I got that right or not, I don't know if I do or not, but I got FEMA. I know it's Federal Emergency Management. And all I want to say, I don't know is the A is action, activity, organization, association. You all know who FEMA is. And I'm being very honestly blunt with you right now. They are threatening right now to cut back some of the money necessary for FEMA activity. And we are in the heart of hurricane season. Can you imagine that? In the heart of hurricane season, right now, coming into Labor Day in about what's today, the 26th day of August. We got 1 week from today, we would have had Labor Day. Yeah, and on another note, while I'm talking about it right now, football, the NFL kicks off the Thursday night. Woo! They say that I think it's the Cowboys and the Eagles, man. You can't beat that. So that's another thing, Trendon. We all know once Labor Day kicks in, football kicks in. But what I'm talking to you about right now that's critically important is our government is trying to cut back FEMA in the heart of hurricane season. Man, I want you all to think about that. I want to sip a cup of my tea and say, now, does that make sense? Does that really make logical sense right now? To cut back the budget in the heart of hurricane season, which runs all the way into November. That means we still got September, October, November to deal with it. 90 plus days, anything could happen. We already just saw one of the hurricanes that hit on the East Coast this weekend. And we got a little lucky, because if it would have made inland, or if it would have came just a little bit further south, oh boy, right down here in Florida, we would have had some trouble. And my point is this: why cut the budget? Can somebody explain that to me? Why would you even think about cutting the budget now? Well, maybe do it next year, in January, after the season over. Come on, Trump, what's up with that? It just makes you say, you see me do this, what's the hidden agenda? And I might as well tell you like this right now, because I talked about those hurricanes and I'm putting it on the front line right now. Everyone wants to feel safe. Everyone wants to feel that something or someone can just take care of them. The last time I did this show solo, we had just had a tsunami over there. I think was it Mississippi? I'm not sure. Alabama, somewhere over there. Don't hold me to it. But just the reality of what happened there, which calls for FEMA activity. Here's my point. Maybe we'll have another catastrophic tsunami like that. But you're talking about cutting money in a place where we all need it right now. I want everybody to say, about that one, because that's just coming at you just the way it is. I don't write the laws. I'm no one here that's following them. Everything we do tonight has a whole lot to do with two things that we all have to deal with. We have to deal with money. We have to deal with our health. And we have to deal with money, and we have to deal with our health on a regular basis. And everything you could imagine that someone shouldn't do is being done from those two perspectives. How we make money, how inflation affects us, how the cost of living allowance is just, it's just not in alignment with the paycheck. And that's the reality of it all. So with that taken and said, I got this on my mind right now. Maru, what was the name of those kids, man? I'm looking for my little cheat sheet here. The kids over in Chicago. Was it in Chicago? The Clemens twins. Boy, you got to hear this little story right here, because it's all about entrepreneurship, because that's the answer to beating COLA. That's the answer to beating inflation. You got to use your intellectual property, get out there, find something you can call yours, that no matter what is going on with the economic system, you can make money. You see behind me my two books, I can make money with them for the rest of my life. whether I'm 70, 80, 90, 25, 35, it doesn't matter. If your intellectual property can be monetized, shame on you if you're sitting on it. Because one part of my conversation for the next 30, 45 minutes will be about how to develop a winner's mindset based on whatever's going on around you. I'm here to give you my perspectives on what's going on, but I want you to understand this. It's never too late to manifest your greatness. And this is an example of, they call Glizzy Street, it's called in Chicago. I found this and I said to myself, man, I'm gonna write this down because I want to be real cool about this. A family owns a local gas station in the Chicago area. On Glizzy Street, they have a couple of twins, the family, and their names are Chaz and Chase Clemens. And is it California? It is California. Forgive me. I think it is. I didn't write down this. I thought it was Chicago, but you know what? Because it says LA style hot dogs. You're right. I got my sister in the back there trying to correct me on my information. But listen, the bottom line is this. These kids are like 15, 16 years old, and they are entrepreneurs. They've got LA style hot dogs. They sell them for $5. And guess what they utilize to make it work? Nothing but social media. They went live on Instagram. They went live on Facebook. They went live on TikTok, and the rest is history. I was watching the news the other day, and I saw that, and I say, wow. And here's the point I want to make. The lady from CNN went on with them. She started talking to them. I think it was CBS This Morning. Forgive me about which news network. I think it was Sunday morning, CBS This Morning. And she said, wow, how did you guys manage to get that? And she looked around, and it was a line of about, man, I'm being real conservative and saying 50, 75 people waiting in line to give these boys $5 a hit for a hot dog. And here's what's really deep about it. All they did was social media. A truck driver heard about him, stopped everything he was doing on his truck route, jumped in, pulled through LA, parked on Giza Street, got out, and guess what this man did? This is what I'm talking about, Good Samaritan. He bought everybody in line hot dogs. Every single person that stood behind him, he bought their hot dogs, supporting these kids and supporting their dream. And the reason why those kids have a dream, and here's the point I want to make to you tonight, and this is calling it the way it is. You, if you're a parent and you got kids and you got something you can monetize and you can do it with a passion, that means there's a purpose for it. And when there's passion and purpose, you know what I call it? My P3 theory. That means there's always going to be possibilities. And to my boys, Chaz and Chase Clemens, I got to give them a shout out because they are selling probably, let's be real conservative right now, probably during the summer like this and when school back in, they're probably kicking 100, 200 hot dogs a day, man. Or more than that, who knows? But at $5 a hit, do the math. And these are 15-year-old twins. And my wife just reminded me to let you know something. And I want to send my prayers out, man. Their mother passed away giving birth to them. She gave birth to them and she made her transition to heaven. They never knew their mother. She never got to hold them. But God had a plan for those boys. And if you'd have heard the conversation, if you'd have heard the mindset that was going on with those kids, I could almost imagine where they're going to be even 10 years from now. Well, see, the point I'm trying to get back to also, Dad and the family owned the service station where those kids were selling those hot dogs. So what's the point I want to make? They saw someone doing something that was from an entrepreneurial perspective, and I'm sure that was what fuel in the fire for them. So parents, come, let's be for real. Do you have a passion you can monetize? Sip my tea. Do you have a passion that could be part of a family legacy? You look at your paycheck every month. If you got a good old W-2 job, but you say, I need a little more money, then why not monetize your passion? And with that said, I'm running a special. I want to help people do that. I'm an entrepreneur. I was a teacher for 31 years. I never made a fortune, but I made a difference. And I loved every minute of it for 3 decades of my life. But the very year that I became a teacher, I also became an entrepreneur. The entertainment business Decided I wanted more than the roller coaster of the entertainment business, went back to school, got my master's degree, and became a teacher. But I never had to stop playing my music. And to this day, I still do. And the point I'm trying to make to you, if you love your passion, it's going to love you back. If you love your passion, it is a purpose. And when you love your passion and it's a purpose, knock, knock, knock. The universe is going to give you possibilities. My shout out to this family right here. Jay Clemens is the brother, and the father worked together with them. They bought that service station. They led by example. His twin brothers, Chaz and Chase, decided they wanted to do it, and the rest is history. And if you just seen the should I say the entrepreneurial demeanor of these kids, I was just so impressed with that. I was a special needs teacher, and a lot of our students didn't have the cognitive abilities. They absolutely had some cognitive deficits that wouldn't allow them to function in the ability to go to college. But you know what they did have? They had the opportunity, and I'm putting it out there tonight, to become certified in something that would be an intellectual property for the rest of their life. And here I'm here to tell you, it made me feel proud. I worked in something called the PASS program in the school system, and I went out. For the 6 years I was there, about 3 to 4 of those years after I got started, I went in the community every day and looked for jobs for those special needs kids. And it made me feel so good, even beyond the years of me doing the PASS program, which is the acronym for Post-Alternative Secondary School Program. I went out, got jobs for these kids. And for me to come back several years later, see some of them still on those jobs, some of those businesses who finally say yes. Because, you know, when you're dealing with kids with disabilities, it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's not impossible. And someone had to say yes. I got a lot of no's, but a lot of them finally said yes, gave these kids opportunities, and the rest is history. Shout out to Best Buddies, one of the greatest organizations for people with intellectual developmental disabilities, IDD, they call it. They're another organization. They strive even for adults, not just young kids who are in high school with me, to become what? Employed, to make a successful transition, post-school adult living, to be able to become certified and employable. The PASS program, Best Buddies, there's so many other organizations, man, that are great to give your kids the foundation. And once again, shout out to that family. I just had to just stop and make that one happen because it was just amazing. Here's something else that's trending right now too, that really touched my spirit, man. And this guy's name, I think his name is Robert. Well, let me look over my paper to make sure I got this together. Robert Smith, that's correct. This man put up $40 million and prepaid for this entire graduating senior class. I think was it Morehouse, Maru? Yes, Morehouse, HBCU, Historically Black College and University. I'm an alumni of FAMU. So, boy, I can say to myself, wow, if somebody would have just came along and paid off my school debt back then. But I did get a Pell Grant. I was very fortunate to go in that win some scholarships. But they should have came along when I went to graduate school. Because back then, even in 1992, those classes cost $500 a piece. Woo! But I got through it. I paid it off. Point of making. If you're a billionaire, come on, stand up, man. If you're a billionaire, come on, stand up and help somebody else out there with all that money you got. You know where I'm coming from. And here's the bottom line that I'm making. This man, you can see the excitement in him, and I can't blame him. He took $40 million of his own money and paid off every single student loan that those kids got that were graduating seniors. So just wanted to share that with you. Want you to know that at the end of the day, you got enough money, share it. You got enough money, go out there and do something that, you know, you never done before. One day I want to wake up and be I'm not going to wake up and say, I'm going to be a philanthropist, because giving back is so good. It is so good. When you hear about Bill Gates, I think he's giving away like $400 million, almost $500 million, and still counting. Bezos, I think that's his name, is the guy from Amazon. His wife, a friend of mine in Tampa, Florida, runs a nonprofit, and she went on a mission in the Tampa Bay area. And boy, this lady, who's a great nonprofit for teenage girls, got $1 million, and the rest is history. And the point I'm making is this: we all can do our parts. We don't have to be millionaires either, but we can do our parts. And at the end of the day, that's what it really, really absolutely comes down to. What was that organization the other night, Maru? And I'm sorry, it was just on TV, and they had the big music program. What was it? It was cancer research, wasn't it? I didn't give a lot of money, but my spirit spoke to me, and I gave something. You know, yeah, we stand up for cancer, and it was on, and it just touched me. I couldn't let it get past me. Even today, and I'm telling my wife to hold me to this to do today. I saw the one about St. Jude, and I said to myself, I got to do that. They're talking about less than $1 a day. And speaking of that right now, I want to bring to your attention that I have a program that's on every Thursday night. And I'm looking for some more followers on Instagram. You know, if you go over to Gregory_Griffith and follow me on Instagram, you'll get a wealth of information about time management. You get a wealth about both of my books right here. I want to stop because I realize, man, we're about 20 minutes into this and share it with you right now. These are my 2 books right here. And I'm telling you that on Thursday nights, you could be the winner of one of these books. You could be the winner of one of these books. All you got to do, I put the link in the chat right there. If you're watching me tonight and you want to go over to the comment section and click the link, or you simply go to theactivator.net. That's my website. Time management, peak performance, time management, peak performance. I got you. And I truly believe that in 30 days, it's literally a game changer about the things that they can quantify that have been done in this country in 30 days. So I wrote the book and called it 30 Days to a New You for one reason. I believe in that. I live that. I set my 30-day goals. I get up and make that happen and say I'm going to do this. Oh, I accidentally hit my music again. Sorry about that. I was wondering, where's that coming from? But that's the point I want to make to you right now. Time management. The link that I put over there is for my Get Activated community. Like-minded people meet every Thursday night. This Thursday night, I welcome you to come on out. I actually meant to put the link into the chat over there for the Zoom. But if you go to Instagram and follow me, the link is right there. Gregory_Griffith on Instagram. I'm looking for a few more followers there to come on out and get this message on Thursday nights. Click the link on the Zoom and come on in. And if you don't, I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on IG. And I just want you to be there with me. But I'm here to tell you, if you take my summer special, the summer's almost over, but I still want people to come into my Get Activated community for half off. It's normally $97 a month. I'm doing it only for $49.99. All you have to do is go to theactivator.net, my website, click Get Activated Community. There's a Stripe link already set up at a 50% off discount. And you will get either one of these books just by joining. The hard copy of that is $25.99. And I'm going to start it again on Wednesdays. We're going to be doing a Kindle Wednesday where you can get just the electronic copy of my book, man, for pennies on Amazon.com. All of them can also be found on theactivator.net. So shout out once again, Thursday nights, 7 o'clock, the Strive Masterclass. My acronym for Strive is this: we must study, try, remember, initialize, visualize, and educate ourselves forever. And I'll give you the strategies that will allow you to do that. We are mind, body, and spirit. I give you strategies every week for you to take an analysis of where you are in mind, body, and spirit. Maybe you're struggling with yourself physically. I got a morning routine that I'm going to share this Thursday night. That's only 2 days from now, 48 hours from now. We'll be live. That's right, Zoom. We'll be live, Facebook. We'll be live, IG. And we want you in the house. So go out, tell somebody about the Strive Masterclass on Thursday nights. I'm a 25-time marathoner. People ask me all the time, man, how? It didn't even start running marathons until I was over 40 years old. I've got strategies. This is one of my medals. And I'm proud to say I did it 25 times. And I did 20 of them in 1 decade. I was still a full-time teacher, full-time head coach for cross country, full-time entertainer working 3 or 4 nights a week. I was still buying several $1 million of real estate over those years. Bought the first property in 1997. Ran my first marathon, 1997. And you know something, man? I'm going to say it. I never look back. If I can share my strategies with you, I would be so, should I say, just honored to know that you believe that you could. And I always say, nothing extraordinary about me. If I've done it, you can do it. But one of the pages that come with my book that I'm just going to quote it directly to you. It says this. Well, first and foremost, I want to say this because that's even a little bit more important than that. For the last 10 years in my classroom, a banner, big, long banner, probably about 6, 8 feet long. The only limitations that exist are the ones you place upon yourself. If you say, I can't, it's a sure shot that you won't. But you say just, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, I must. You must trust the process. And you know something? The next level is always waiting. That's what my Get Activated community is all about. That's my pitch to you tonight. Probably say it to you once again before I get off the air, but I want to let you know this. I'm looking for some more followers on Instagram. I'm looking for people to come into the Get Activated community, 7 o'clock, the Strive Masterclass. So we're going to move on. I skipped it, but I want to go back to it because I want to make sure I make some noise tonight about what's going on in the opposition to some things in our government right now. You know, a lot of people just call him 47. I just say Trump. And I'm just going to say it with all due respect. He is the nation's leader. He's the president of the United States. And I heard from Governor, is it Pritzker is his name? I want to make sure I get these names correct. I want to make sure I say this correct. I wrote myself a little note here. I'm looking for it. I just want to say this to you tonight. Man, he made a statement that was so proud of me. It was scary. He said that our existing government cut $800 million in police protection. I want you all to digest that for a moment. This is just my perspective. Remember this. This is my perspective tonight. I'm not telling you I'm the law. I'm just telling you there's some things that make you say, when you want to work with how to put things in proper perspective. $800 million cut in the budget to keep the city of Chicago safe. The actual press conference that he called on CNN the other day was powerful. Everyone standing behind him was in concert with him. They all in accord with him. They all concurred with him that there's no emergency in Chicago. They're trying to understand, why is this even happening? The same thing is happening in Washington, D.C. The mayor's voicing displeasure. Right after the governor, the mayor came up also, and he expressed his displeasure. And I'm telling you this, both the mayor of Chicago, both the governor, and all of the people behind them who are part of the government in that area, the presiding administration, was saying they don't understand it. And I'm trying to look at my numbers because I don't want to have them wrong. I just had a sheet here. I want to make sure I find the numbers. They were saying this. Listen to this. The leaders of Chicago all unanimously said this: 32% reduction in homicide, 35% reduction in robberies. The mayor, Brandon Johnson, said they've had the safest month of April since 1960 in Chicago, but you want to employ the National Guard. I'm taking a deep breath. Man, I'm really trying to understand it. I'm really trying to understand it. I saw a rerun of Cory Booker on what's his name? Stephen Colbert, Maru? The late night show Stephen Colbert last night, man. It was a rerun of having them doing that 25 straight hours of just expressing his displeasure with the existing administration and what's going on. And man, boy, that man and Governor Westmore, let me tell you something. Those two brothers laid it out. I saw both of them over the last 48 hours just speak clearly about what's going on in our government. What can we do as people? And it's pretty sad because they said more people went bowling last year than voted. More people went out to have fun and went bowling than people who voted, man. I'm giggling about it, but it's a damn shame. Only 40% of the registered voting people in this country go out to the polls. 40%. Not even half the people who are registered to vote go out and do that, but they all want to be. Shut up. Don't vote, don't say nothing. I don't care whether you're Democrat or Republican. I don't care if you're liberal. I just say voice your opinion. So many people died for us to have the right to do it. And when you hear that more people went bowling last year than they did vote, When you hear about what's going on with us right now, you hear about what went down back when the existing administration was in control back then and didn't want to take the loss. They didn't want to lay down for it. They had their opinion. We still haven't been able to quantify. That's why I said maybe somebody telling a lie. They said it was stolen from her, but to this day, nobody's been able to quantify that. We just don't know what's going on. So tonight, I'm saying to you, maybe somebody in your jurisdiction, maybe your representatives, man, maybe someone can speak up about what's going on with the mandates that are going on in this country. I don't get it. This just like I said, the Gregory Griffith perspective on this, I don't get it. And all I do get is this: we all feeling the impact. Boy, do you know, man, the people, just because of the reduction of DEI, no jobs, how many people have programs that have just been either eradicated altogether or just a reduction of so much that it hits home with a lot of people? This is all our presiding government right now. And you know what's funny to me, man? Because I do this every now and then. I'll turn on AM radio and I'll get the conservative right-wing perspective. I'll turn on CNN and I'll get the left side of things from a Democratic perspective, or CNBC. Or every now and then I'll hit over to Fox, just every now and then, because I know no matter what, they're going to support the existing situation from the right wing and the conservative side of things. That's just going to happen. But my point is this: everybody's saying they're right. We all know somebody wrong. We all know somebody is wrong, but everybody said they are right. They seem to be able to quantify. Somebody lies, somebody's subjective. I always tell this to my kids. Either you can quantify us a lie, you're subjective, should I say, clown with a frown. And all I'm saying to you is this, man: we all feel that. And we're all feeling it right now because, they say something about people who get in positions, they want to be famous, they want to be rich, and they want to be powerful. Most of the people who get the positions have already wanted to do that. Well, I would say right now, boy, 47 got it. He's running with it. None of us can complain about it. If you didn't vote, don't say nothing. All you're dealing with is the ramification of the action by not taking action. So all I'm saying to you is this: it's going to roll by. Another 4 years is going to come up. And I, once again, just would like to see 40% of the people in the entire United States vote. Only 40%. And then when we do elect someone, they come right in and do a sweep. You come right in and cut back FEMA, threatening to do it. I don't know if they actually done it or not, but I saw that on the news the other day. In the heart of hurricane season, you go into Chicago when they're already doing really great, and you cut $800 million from them. Man, that's almost $1 billion. Come on, you guys. And guess what? I think I better share that tonight, because it's something that I want people who are just watching me and listening to me understand. Guess how much money it costs every day in every city that they employ the National Guard? I'm going to go ahead and tell you, $1 million a day. $30 million a month. Suppose this goes on for 3 months. 90 million. Suppose it goes on for a half year. 180 million. Suppose it goes on for the rest of this year, all the way to next summer. He flexing his power and spending money, spending our taxpayers' money, and he says, I'm going to continue because I can. Woo-woo. A lot of money, man. $30 million a month. 3 times 12, 360 million. I can sit here and rattle off a lot of very realistic things we can do about that. Better health care, better educational facilities, better money for people like me. That's why I became an entrepreneur. I got about 3 checks as a teacher, and I said to myself, oh man, I love the job, but ain't enough money at the end of the month. If I wasn't married and had a spouse that was making money too, I don't know. And I know people who were in the system with me, who were single, and even some of them single parents. They could not even qualify for a home on the salary that they were making as a teacher. What's up with that in America? In a profession that navigates through the facilitation of education to take our young minds and get them ready for the next level. Come on, you guys. Come on, somebody. There's something wrong with that agenda. Why can't we put more money into education? I don't get it. I'm baffled. I am literally baffled. I don't understand it. And I love the way that everybody say, "Oh, keep it on the state level, man. We don't want the federal government getting in." But do you notice how the present administration just muscle right in? And that segues me to something I'm going to talk about what I have to tonight before I leave here. Where's my little cheat sheet I got on it? Let me tell you something. That situation with the Fed governor, the lady's name is Lisa Cook. I found out, and I'm going to speak truth about it. There's some hidden obscurities in the maneuvering that's going on regarding this young lady, Lisa Cook. They say now, and they say it's an allegation until they can prove it, that, she's got mortgage fraud going on. I don't know. She's counting back with her own suit. She's saying somebody telling a lie. She's hired one of the top attorneys who's represented everybody, who's somebody to represent her. So maybe he thinks she's got a case. I wouldn't spend that kind of money unless I thought I had some foundation to stand on. I don't think me or you would do that. So Ms. Cook probably got, she got a strategy she's working with, because here's the hidden agenda. And I don't know if I got this right or not. Maru, I might need to ask you to ask Siri or somebody. Is it FOMU? Is the Federal Operations Market something? But it's an organization that controls what's going on with the interest rates. And I've been told this, and I'm just, I'm not the guy who every day just yabbity following this. But when I have my opportunity on a night like this, when I'm solo, usually have a guest on the GG Factor. But tonight when I'm solo like this and things get into me, they kind of irk at me, man. When I realize that Trump has a hidden agenda, there's an obscurity behind why he wants this lady fired, because it gives him more power. He wants to control what goes down with the interest rates. Won't just leave it to Powell and the lady Cook and all the other people who are in control of that destination called the interest rate hike in this country. He wants control of it. So to maneuver her out, get him in, well, the rest is history. Like I said, I don't know if this lady is innocent or guilty, but I do know there appears to be an agenda that we, the American people, don't see. And today I said, you know what? I'm going to put my antennas up. I'm going to listen a little bit more about it to try to understand what's really going on with this. And it's very interesting, once again, from a bipartisan perspective about this, because you listen to the people over here on Fox, they got one thing on the right. Then you listen to the people over here on CNN, they got one thing on the left. And then you're just sitting there in the middle, almost like one of these guys who might want to be a liberal and saying, man, why are you leaning so much over here when it's still all just allegations? Why are you leaning so much over here when it's still just, we don't know yet? It's just interesting. It's very, very interesting. We're all feeling what's going down with the tariffs. They're slapping us around now. Consumers are now going to feel it. But we're going to trust it. They say they're doing the right thing. And hey, what can we do? What can we do? It's a very, very scary thing. I'm running out of time. I said I won't go no more than about 40 minutes tonight. I wonder did I miss anything here? Maru, can you think of anything that I might have missed? I just want to make sure that I hit things the way they really should be. Let me see here. There was another situation went down. This guy, Brago Garcia, they're trying to say that ICE took him and put him out of the country for something that he shouldn't have been sent out of the country for. They brought him back. Now they're trying to decide which way are they going to try him. Should it be something government do? Do they keep him here? Does he get out? Brago Garcia, you might want to just follow that. I'm not going to go too deep about it, but that's another one of those that make you say, what's going on? And while I'm speaking about the immigration situation, come on, Maru, there was something that we just saw that we were just watching on this morning about all these people who've done so much in this country, and every last one of them. Oh, I know who it was. It was Meryl Streep. And she was talking about the incredible contributions that have been made in the arts from all these people who are immigrants. I want you to stop and think about this. And the stronghold, the muscle to get them out of here, and this perspective, this mindset, the paradigm that seems to exist about every one of these immigrants that we've got being bad people, and they're gangsters, they're rapists, they're stealing, it's just crazy. Then you go right over to Hollywood. You go right over to Hollywood, and you hear this little speech that Meryl Streep made, saying that she just ran through a whole list of people. And I mean, come on, man. All of these people, I can't even call all of their names, from Schwarzenegger to all these people who we know some of them already. They're all immigrants, man. And suppose they hadn't been given the opportunity. Wow. I just want a little silence on that. I don't know, man. I need to find something on a brighter note to wrap it up tonight. Because the more I talk about politics, the more I talk about what's going on with us, the crazier it gets, man. But I'm gonna go even back a little further with politics, because the reason why I have to, and I gotta say this tonight, because Maru, you brought it to my attention. See, I didn't know this. Back in 1870, if I'm not mistaken, the Rockefeller family started Standard Oil. The Rockefeller family started the movement toward control of all the medicine and how it's administered in this country, because they had what? They had the fame. They had what? They had the money. So that gave them what? The power. And the Rockefellers did it. They created everything they could to stop the movement, to stop a lot of the disease that was going on early in the 1900s. They got control, and they did, should I say, reverse the narrative. And the reason why I'm bringing that up right now is this. What's going on right now? Let's fast forward. 2025. How many times do you see commercials on the CBS, the ABC, the NBC, the Fox, the CNN, you name it, networks at dinner time? Have you taken an assessment of how many commercials are strictly about what? Medicine and being sick. Think about that. And think about back then, the same way it is right now. If there could be a way that further research and development could be done, we could eradicate a lot of what we're living with. But it's big pharma, big money in medicine. 1 million people in Broward County, Florida, where I live alone, got sick and went to the emergency room. I ain't gonna say 100% of them obviously were sick, but I bet you more than 60 or 70% went to the emergency room for some sort of illness. And that segues me back to me just telling you, come on out and see me on Thursday nights, 7 o'clock. All you got to do is DM the word Scribe. Go. The link is on my IG. I'm looking for new followers on my Instagram account. I will inform you. I will inspire you. I will empower you. The GG Factor is about that. And I want you to know that there's so much going on with us, but I want to end this on a very positive note. Let me tell you something. You can exist in this world, but you don't have to be crushed by it. You may have an earthly existence, but you may understand that you must have a heavenly mindset. You may have this earthly existence, but you must have a heavenly mindset. And my man, I always mention him just like it's on Thursday nights. Steve Harvey said this: your imagination is a conversation with the God in you. Ask Michael Jordan. 1984, Air Jordans came out. 1984, his mama negotiated with Nike. The man got, I think, about $2 million, and he bought a lifetime ownership into a piece of Nike. He's a billionaire right now. He rakes in about $7 billion a year. You got to take this into perspective right now. Air Jordan, Michael Jordan. And think about that from an entrepreneurial perspective. Think about that right now from the place that you always have the opportunity to monetize your passion. You just got to put the work in. Do you know that Michael Jordan didn't even make the basketball team as a junior in high school? Can you imagine that? One of the greatest players to ever touch a basketball didn't make the team. He didn't quit. You can't change yesterday. I don't know about tomorrow, but you always have now to reboot yourself. You always have right now to say, yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, I must trust the process. This has been Out of Sight tonight. Thank you for being here with me on the GG Factor. Join us every Thursday night for the Strive Masterclass. Join us every Tuesday night. Right now, coming up very soon, man. He's a neighbor of mine, but boy, he is super big on what should I say, just physical therapy. How to take better care of yourself. Eric Chambers is coming up. Him and his wife been in the business over a quarter of a century, and they're still kicking it. So here, I'm going to tell you about this. We inform you, we inspire you every Tuesday night at 7. And I also do this. I give you personal development in mind, body, and spirit on every Thursday night. This Thursday, strategies for your morning routine. What you can do to be a better version of you. What you can do to define yourself for success. What you can do to activate your true identity. So until Thursday night, I hope you come in. All you got to do is go to Instagram, go to my profile, follow me, and click that link right there to take it right into the Zoom. And let me tell you something, man. You might be a winner of one of my books. I don't mind giving them away. And don't forget, if you join the Get Activated community, $49.99. I like you to always say, take a 30, 60, 90 trip with me, baby. Take the 30, 60, 90-day challenge to come on in, find your, should I say, balance, because when we find balance, we find success. And until the next time, I'm going to say good night to you. I want you to just follow us on Instagram. We need some more followers out there. I'm just trying to get the world to get in touch with what we're doing and follow us. Until next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Tonight was just the GG Factor, but it was the Greg Griffith perspective. I hope you found something that you can say, I know where Greg's coming from. And if you didn't already, if you didn't already, please join us over there. Send me an email. Come on over to Instagram. Come on over to Facebook. Join this YouTube channel. Please subscribe to us. All you got to do is go right there to Gregory the Activator. Click live, come in the room, and subscribe. So till next Tuesday at 7 o'clock, and this Thursday, we say also at 7 o'clock, the Strive Masterclass. I'm going to end the stream and say thank you. It's been Out of Sight.